the horsepower. That's what you buy a Ram for.
This is the new base model Ram of the Bighorn, and it's got a couple of really good features that we are very excited about.
I think any dirt biker who's watching this video would have picked up on it already. Welcome back, guys. We are back at the Glass House Mountains. We're in our backyard, an hour and a half away from home.
Yep.
And last time we left everybody here, we were in a couple of stupid trucks.
Yep, absolutely.
Doing some stupid things.
Yes.
Yeah? But we'll come back to that maybe in another episode.
Maybe.
We're back here today doing what we do best at Glass House Mountains, what we've been doing forever. You might see in the back there, there's a really bitchin' looking white thing and a stupid looking orange thing.
Whatever.
In the back. But we're going to get to the back of this Ram a little bit later in the video, aren't we?
Yeah, we will.
What's exciting about this thing, dude?
This is the new base model Ram for Australia of the Bighorn, and it's got a couple of really good features that we are very excited about.
This thing replaces the Express. Now the Express, I'm going to be perfectly honest, I wasn't a big fan of the Express because of the size of the rear cab. I'm figuring if you're driving a Ram, dude.
Oh, like you want to be like,
you want to be
big, like you just want to be laid
want
out
everything
in the back
big.
seat. Yeah,
so to buy
absolutely.
a Ram that's got littler stuff doesn't make a lot of sense. And I think that might be the reason they called it the Bighorn.
Yeah.
Because everything on this is bigger. Stay tuned, we're gonna whip the camper trailer off. We'll flip this thing around.
Yep.
We're gonna show you guys some really exciting new iterations to the Ram Trucks Australia. Hemi, baby. That sound right there, that's why you buy a Ram truck. Look, let's be honest. This idiot, he doesn't even know that we're filming. This is completely unprompted. But that's what you do when you get in a Hemi. You listen to the sound of a Hemi. My first car was from that same family, you know, and now I'm back there. And once you get settled on one of these trucks, I just can't see a reason. How's you? Giving it a little rev. I was just saying to the audience here, just completely unprompted, but that's what you do when you get in a Hemi, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you just gotta hear it, or you gotta feel it, or you gotta embrace it. Yeah? Like, if you want to be all man in your Ram, you just gotta hear that Hemi going.
What did you just say?
All man in the Ram.
All man in your Ram. Eat yeets for breakfast.
Eat yeets for breakfast, baby.
Like I mentioned in the intro, the old base model, I suppose you call it, there's nothing base about them. I probably shouldn't use that term. But the entry level model from a price point used to be the Ram Express here in Australia. I wasn't a massive fan of the Ram Express. All jokes aside, I think if you're gonna buy an American truck, you want that American size, right? The Express used to have a smaller back cab, and that was the biggest difference about it. Now with the Bighorn that's coming into Australia, it comes with the full-size cab. So you get the full-size back seats. We'll go in there a little bit later. You're getting all the advantages. The cab is exactly the same on the 2500. To me, massive advantage, and that's why you buy an American truck. You buy it for the space, the comfort, the capability, the size, all the rest of it. The second big thing is the bed. What are you doing, big dog? I think any dirt biker who's watching this video, it would have picked up on it already. Maybe if you don't ride dirt bikes, you wouldn't pick up on it. You cannot, under any circumstances, get a dirt bike in the back of a Japanese dual cab ute or a standard, even a 5'7" bed Ram, and close the tailgate, yeah? We've got two full-size dirt bikes in the back of the truck with the tailgate closed.
And it's awesome.
And that's been the big thing for us over the years, hasn't it? It's been massive, and I'll tell you the reason why. When you've got the tailgate down, you can't tow. It's just that simple. You can't tow with the tailgate down. With the Patriot, very high hitch, you'll bang the tailgate when you close it. You can't get the articulation around the back.
Yeah.
And if you go off-road, you're gonna smash a big hole or put a big dent in your tailgate straight away. So it just can't be done, eh?
No.
And that's really where the toy hauler platform came from for us, because I wanted the ability to carry dirt bikes, you know, full-size ATVs, that sort of things, and have a camper trailer on the back. That's where we developed the toy hauler. This has really made the toy hauler redundant for a lot of the trips, like what we're doing today, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Like I write now, instead of having a tow like a big old trailer, I would just got the X1N and then just bang the dirt bikes in the back, and it's been mint.
And we generally do that. So even if we come out riding for the day, like a day like today, we'll always take a camper trailer with us, because what we're finding now is the boys or one of their mates will take the dirt bike trailer, put 3, 4, 5 dirt bikes on the back. I'll generally tow a camper trailer. We can have showers when we get back in. We have a barbecue for lunch. We keep the beers cold, all of that sort of stuff. So now it's just gangster, isn't it?
Yeah, it's epic.
The disadvantages on a day like today, Christian couldn't be here. Christian's actually back at the factory building a brand new project, so it kind of worked out all right. Yeah. So just the two of us.
Fine.
3 dirt bikes, you can't get in the back, and trust me, I tried. I think if you were, I don't know, if you tried a little bit harder, maybe.
Yeah, or you could fit like a 110 in there or something. Or like a pit bike maybe as well.
We used this thing as well a lot when we were actually just moved to Patriot Campers factory. So you boys actually done quite a few trips around the factory with it, moving gear around. And how did you find the extra length of the cargo tub?
You can actually tell a massive difference. So like with the smaller than tub, like you pretty much can only put like maybe a pallet and some extra things in there. This thing we can just load it up and just like it cut all of our runs to and from the factory like in half.
So I think for a tradie, that sort of stuff, it's something that you definitely want to consider. I haven't really noticed the length of the thing over, say, your mum's 1500 or even the TRX. Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
All right, so at the back we have a soft opening tail gate, and for the older guys like Dad, we have a little step here so you can just easily jump up, unload on your bike.
You can laugh as much as you want about that little step. I just took delivery of my new 2500 and it doesn't have the step on the back, and you know
that is good.
You know how much it annoys me?
It's usable.
But in the back, tie downs, all the rest of it.
Yeah, like it's just like a work bed. It's just made to get the job done. Like a whipper your dirt bikes in, or just anything else that you want. A tie it down or wherever you want, and just a go for it.
Yep, you got 3 tie down points, 2 tie down points on this side, 2 on that side, and they're on a rail. You can slide them up and down.
Yeah, and then you've got a tie down in each.
The anchor's in the corner, which is the one that we use the most. Rhino lining inside the tub. I'm converted to these things, and I'm genuinely am converted to these things. I've had every single model of Ram now that I think Ram has brought into Australia, and I can't see that I'd ever go back, me personally, to another dual cab ute. There's obviously the price consideration though. Which, you know what, we're going to attack the price thing, I think, at the end of this video, because value for money, what you get in one of these, for what you pay for them, it's like anything, right? You get what you pay for.
Absolutely.
And I think Ram have absolutely got it nailed. So they're the 2 biggest features of the new 1500 Bighorn.
Yep. Yeah, it's awesome.
Worthwhile saying too, this one is not ours, it's not mine. Ram told me that it was coming in, and I was actually on the phone to him, and I'm like, you know what? Give me a go. Can I borrow one for a week? I was dailying this thing. We were moving the factories. I wanted to come out for a ride. The first day I got it, I took it down to my barn, wheeled the dirt. I'm like, surely you can't get a dirt bike in it. Wheeled the dirt bike straight in the back and it fit. So I rang him up and asked him if I could have it for another couple of weeks. And I've been dailying the thing every day, and I'm so impressed with it. And I kind of, in some respect, I miss having a standard car. It's quiet, it's comfortable.
Ride's amazing.
Ride's amazing, like it's easy to park. These kids are 20 years old and they're already starting to get it, eh? Like they don't want to modify stuff anymore. Off-road ability, capability, let's do it now. Let's go for a quick drive in it. One of the things I will say about the Ram, first modification and only modification you have to do on any of the Rams, put on a good set of tyres, and I would definitely put a little bit of lift. That's definitely my opinion. They do sit quite low to the ground, so for hardcore kind of off-roading, out of the box, like any car, they're not really set up for it. 2-inch lift, really good set of tyres, that's it. That's all you have to do with them. Look at my 2500. That's all I've done to it. Look at
Yeah.
the TRX. That's all I've done to it. Full bar and headlights.
Yeah.
That's it. Let's take this thing for a drive, and then we'll jump in the interior and show you through. All right. What's it like to drive a 1500 Ram?
Awesome.
Towing.
Hit it.
Quiet. Shh. Aircon down. You need to experience this. Hemi, baby.
Awesome.
5.7 Hemi. Like, number one, that's where Ram has it over everybody else.
Yeah.
That engine right there.
Absolutely.
That is what it's all about. And as a daily driver, power, the ability to tow, load the thing up. Yes, you need the horsepower. That's what you buy a Ram for. Once you drive a Ram, it's very, very difficult to go back to a Japanese ute.
Yeah,
isn't it?
for sure.
Yeah. And the biggest difference is it's the engine straight away. The 5.7 Hemi with the E-torque. Same motor in this thing that was in your mum's black one.
Yep.
Yeah. So we had the white non-E-torque with Sarah's first 1500. Then we upgraded her to the E-torque model. What's the E-torque all about?
E-torque is more of like a hybrid or sort of system. So you still have the big a 5.7, a litre, a Hemi, but there is a little electric motor which does help it with the initial grunt and torque with getting off the line and things like that.
And you feel that so much more when you're towing. Towing capacity 4.5 tonne on this ute too. That's
wild.
Which is wild. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. We don't tow 4.5 tonnes with our 1500. That's what my 2500, my daily's for, towing the kids' race car and the trophy truck and all the rest of it. But as a daily driver, the big difference with the 1500 over the 2500 is your front independent suspension. The IFS makes a massive difference as a daily driver. But going back to the engine, a couple of other things. The horsepower?
395.
395 horsepower. But you've got all the best technology as well. So yeah, it's a petrol engine, but what's wrong with a petrol engine? I think the world's kind of reverting back.
Yeah.
The big advantage of diesel in the early days was the economy of diesel, because diesel was so much cheaper. And there was always that myth, oh, you can only get diesel out west. That's absolute garbage. That's BS. I've been traveling out west forever, and wherever you can buy diesel, you can buy petrol from as well. But the Hemi is also, it's very green, because when you're on the highway, it drops out 4 cylinders. So when it doesn't need the torque, cuts out 4 cylinders. So your fuel economy in these things is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Payload.
The payload with the 6-foot 4-inch bed is 880 kilos in the back of this.
880 kilos in this with the 6.4 bed. But if you go with the option of the shorter bed, the 5.7 bed, you get like 900 and something kilos. So just under a ton of payload on a 5.7. So the ability to carry gear is absolutely amazing as well. What else? Wheelbase.
Yeah.
That's a massive one with the 6.4 bed, and not something that a lot of people consider. If you look at one of the biggest modifications that people do to touring cars, they extend the wheelbase. So a 300mm extension, which is
always
a $20,000 job to get done, for the reason of distributing the load a little bit better, but I find for the reason of ride quality on corrugations. Longer wheelbase, you're not sitting inside the ruts that all the shorter wheelbase cars do. You get outside the ruts, and it definitely makes a better ride. What else have I missed?
Have you talked about GVM and G?
No, you're facts boy.
So GVM on this car is 3,450 kilos.
3.5 tonne.
And the GCM is 7.7 tons.
7.7 tonne in a daily driver. Man,
massive.
it's look, you can't ignore what the American trucks are doing, and you just cannot, if you're into whatever you're into, to use your ute as a ute. I just honestly don't believe that you can beat one of these things. And as a daily driver, 1500, Sarah's been daily driving a 1500 for 4 years.
5, I'd say.
4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
My wife, she picks me up from school, she goes to Coles and all the rest of it. They're a big truck. They are 2 metres wide, so they're definitely wider than your standard dual cab. And to say that they're exactly the same, well, they're not. But the ability to daily drive a 1500 Ram, once you get used to the size. Now, you've got obviously all the cameras and all the safety gear and the backup braking and all that sort of stuff. But the tip that I give to everyone when it comes to a Ram, don't park it forward, reverse it, back it up.
Reverse.
And with the long wheelbase, I haven't noticed any difference. So yeah, I think that wraps up the little driving segment.
Yeah.
Should we get back to camp?
Absolutely.
Because I want to get the dirt bikes off.
Yeah.
We want to get rid of you guys so we can go riding.
Agreed.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, back to camp. Now, I've already spoken about the size of the cab, the rear door, but now it'll make sense on what I'm harping on about, right? So even for us in the dirt bike situation, generally speaking, you'd chuck your bags and that in the back. Obviously, when everything's clean, you don't know what the weather's doing. There's nothing worse than turning up to a trail and all of your stuff soaked, right? So I always chuck them in the back. 2 full-size dirt bike bags. I'll whip them out for you. Have a look at this, air compressor, obviously 2 tyres. Look at the size of that. You can genuinely, and I have done it a few times now, sleep in the back. I'll put a mattress down. When I'm on my own, I'm doing long trips or I'm going to pick up a trailer in the state or whatever, I will take like a little inflatable mattress, chuck it in the back, and that's where I sleep. It is absolutely huge. You got the storage boxes underneath the floor, which are so handy. ARB twin compressor fits in there. I've done it on multiple trucks now. So you can keep them really handy, but what I predominantly use these for, because you got the 4.5 ton towing, I always carry with me a DO35 hitch pin for my camper trailer. I carry a 50mm ball for the boat, and I carry a 70mm ball with me as well for the big boat trailer. So I normally keep them under the floor, stops them from rattling around. They're always there. The kids are constantly stealing them. So every time now you are.
No, I'm not.
What's one of the biggest arguments we have at home?
Tow hitches.
Where's my tow hitch? Because every one of my trucks is organised. I hate being disorganised. I think people are picking up on that now. I like my stuff to be where I know where my stuff is. And when you have 2 teenage boys, that goes completely out the window. So we definitely have some big fights at home about that. Seats fold down, just as simple as that. I'm gonna do it anyway. This is what I was talking about before. Like, they're ridiculous. It's like a limousine in the back, like a Maybach Benz in the back of a pickup truck. And this is the real big advantage. When the kids were younger for us and where Patriot games started and the vehicles that we were driving back there, I can only dream of what it would have been like to go 5 up touring around Australia in something this comfortable, you know? Having the 3 kids in the back of this would have eliminated so many problems, so many fights and all the rest of it. Getting 3 car seats along the back of one of these is definitely possible. I don't know whether they got the hooks for it. I'm out of that game a little while now, but you can definitely keep everyone comfortable. In the back here, you've got everything that you would expect, your pockets, air conditioning. You don't get the AC controls in the back, so it's all controlled from the front. But that's the advantage of the cab on this thing. And I'm really, really glad that Ram Trucks Australia decided to bring this in as standard now over the last Express. So what we'll do, we'll let the big dog talk you through everything that he loves about being in the front of the Ram. But you're not allowed to drive it. You're not allowed to drive it.
I'm not allowed to drive it
on your P plates. Unless we're on private property, then they drive them. But you do drive the Bighorn in the States.
Yes, I do, and it's amazing.
You're definitely qualified to talk about it.
I am qualified to talk about it.
Ashton spent 3 months in the United States last year with his mum, straight, chauffeuring his mum around because Sarah was a little bit nervous to drive in the US. So he's been driving the Bighorn over there. He knows them inside out, back to front.
Okay, so a couple of the main things that I absolutely love about the Bighorn Ram in particular, which Juzzy I didn't talk about, is cloth seats. So they're not leather, which everyone knows in general a cloth seat is comfier, but these seats, they just hug you and like you were just in there and you can drive for as long as you want. They are hands down the most comfortable seats I have ever experienced in a car ever, and I mean that like as much as I can. It's amazing. A massive thing which I think that a lot of newer cars are nowadays are getting away from now, which are the Bighorn just brings back in and executes it perfectly, is hard buttons and dials to change anything you need in the car. You don't have to go through a million different pages and tap a bunch of different buttons to get to what you need to. If you need to change the aircon, or you just turn the dial. If you need to turn the volume up and down, or you just turn the dial. Everything is right there at your fingertips, and it's one of the things that I absolutely adore about the Bighorn RAM. And if you don't want to touch all of the buttons and all the dials, everything is right there on the wheel for you to control. You can change the track, adjust the volume on the back, adjust your cruise control, and it also has Apple CarPlay, which is an absolute must in any modern car. The Bighorn RAM is normally a 6-seater, but to keep the payload high, they have chosen to actually lock this out so you can't have a 6-person here, and they kept it as a 5-seater. As much as this may be the base model RAM for Australia, there is not a thing that is base model about this car.
What do you reckon? Bighorn, 1500, man.
Epic.
Epic.
So good.
It's a cool bit of kit.
It is. It really is.
And I think it's long overdue for the Australian market.
Absolutely.
Yep. It's definitely that 6'4" bed with the big cab at the entry level for Ram Trucks Australia. Now, the price currently, so they're launching them at $119,000, which is, look, it's a lot of money for a ute, don't get me wrong. But if you consider, I think, what you need to spend in accessories on maybe any of the other dual cab utes,
yeah,
what this guy's done multiple times. I'm at a different stage of my life now. I'm not interested in warranty issues, and this doesn't go with that, and building trucks to that level. I've been there, done that. I had a fat time doing it, but that's why I'm so committed to the Ram brand now, because it just works for my lifestyle. And I think value for money, you get a lot of truck. They're definitely more expensive than what the Express model was originally introduced at here in Australia. But when you consider what you're getting with that bigger cab alone, I think makes it worth the increase in price. But now the ability to option that 6'4" tub is unbelievable.
It's really good.
What don't you like about it?
I don't like the wheels. Like, I just don't think
aesthetically, like looks.
Yeah. I like aesthetically,
very,
like
very personal.
Yeah. Like and just I feel like it just needs like a little bit more like aggressive tires, because it's like a 4x4, but it's got road tires on it.
Yep, but that's, I mean, look, that's the market that they're aiming at with the 1500, I think.
Yeah.
It's really the guys that, you know, the people, guys, girls, whatever, that need a ute but are using it for 90% on-road use. And in standard form, it drives...
Oh, they do that really well.
They do it really, really well. They do the tarmac so well. Why they don't do the off-road well, the two things that I would change immediately, my lifestyle, I'd put a 2-inch lift, and I'll put some more aggressive tyres on it. That'd be about it. I'd fit a UHF to it.
Yeah.
If I was going to use it as a weekend warrior. Obviously, if I'm going to go touring in it and it's going to be a touring truck, then the extended modifications will get a lot more than that. But there's a lot of gear available for them now too.
Heaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely everywhere now.
It's everywhere now. It's like any other, you know, popular touring vehicle. You can accessorise them as much as you want, but out of the box, I think I think it's an unbelievable truck. And I think that bed is so long overdue for so many different uses. I mean, what we're doing today is one thing.
Perfect.
But think about the tradies and the builders, you know, long length stuff and the payload and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Awesome bit of kit. If you're considering buying a Ram, guys, Ram Trucks Australia, any of your Ram dealers anywhere around the country now, that's the only place to go. They're the only ones that are accredited by Ram in America to remanufacture the trucks. And that's what they do here in Australia. They remanufacture them. They pull the cab off. They don't cut and shut the dashes and do silly things with the steering or any of that sort of stuff. You got a full dealer-backed warranty network, service network. Once again, I said it earlier in the video, you get what you pay for, and you definitely want to go to the source if you're making that sort of investment into a truck.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There's a lot you can learn there, young man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, mate.
You just want to go riding,
I just want to go riding. Let's go.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up right there. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next episode. We're getting on the dirt bikes. I'm going to go kick Ashton's ass. Let's go.
You.